All right, good day, everybody. Welcome to our third week of beginners data analytics training. For this week, we'll be looking at data cleaning and preparation. Now, we had already discussed that as a data analyst, we have different processes from data collection to data cleaning, data analysis to getting insights, and also reporting your findings. All right, so we want to take you through the process of how you can get your data clean. All right, so this is an e-commerce data set. So I'm going to show you how you can clean up this data. So as you can see, this data looks unorganized and very dirty. All right, it contains inconsistencies. Like if you look at through this column, each of this column contains several forms in data type form and not in their right format. All right, so we need to first of all go through the process of cleaning this data before you can use this data to run analysis. All right, so let's get started. The first thing you are going to do is to first duplicate this data. We're going to duplicate this data. Why are we doing that? Is to, in case of any incident where you have to delete this data set or you can't actually access this data set, you can actually get it from the duplicate or the duplicated data set. All right, so sometimes we might miss this raw data or it can be deleted. All right, so in case you want to go back to the raw data set and get information from it, you can actually use the duplicated data set. So how do we duplicate this? All right, so come over to your sheet tab where we have e-commerce data set. Right click, go over to move or copy, click that, then come to move to end and click create a copy and OK. It's actually duplicating. All right, now we have a duplicate of the raw data set. So it's showing e-commerce data set too. So this is a duplicate. I'll rename that to clean data. All right, so now this is where we are going to clean up the data, while this is our raw data set. All right, so we have actually duplicated that. So we are going to start cleaning this data set. All right, the first thing you have to do is to, first of all, you can see that some of the information are hidden between the bars, the column bars. All right, so we are going to separate each of this column. We are going to extend it. All right, so that we can actually see some of this information. So how do you do that? First of all, Control A, highlight every text, every data column. When you do that, you now click on alternate HOI. All right, so it does that for you. So that is a shortcut of, instead of you drag and drop each of the column, just do that. You first of all highlight the cell, then press Control Shift. You press alternate HOI. Does that for you. So it actually highlights each of this column in the appropriate column size, so that we can actually see the information. All right, so this is all we have here, all the informations we have for this data. So what we are going to do next is to, let's check how many rows we have. You click Control Shift down drop. So we have a total of 541 data set and a different column. What you're going to do is to first check for duplicate. If there is a repetition of the information, customers information or transaction information, so we don't actually need the duplicate. So how do you check for it? So highlight the cell, Control A, go over to data tab where we have our menu bar. Then under data tools, you check for remove duplicates by this adjacent to text to column. remove duplicates. All right, click on that and make sure that my data as header is checked, because our data set has these headers. We have different headers information, and click OK. So it shows that 11 duplicate values found and removed. 529 unique values remain. Alright, so it has reduced this to 529 rows. Okay, so we have removed duplicates. The next thing we are going to do is to add filters. We are going to add filter to each of these columns. Instead of us using this vertical scroll to come down and up to check the informations we have, we can actually use filter to summarize all the information that we need, so that we know what is not appropriate, and we can actually clean it up. So how do you do that? I'll show you a shortcut. So this is actually filter. You can highlight and press filter, or you use this shortcut Ctrl+Shift+L. So I'll be using that shortcut Ctrl+Shift+L. So it has added filter. We can see this down job, right? So it has actually summarized the whole data set you have here, the information we have here. So you see how inconsistent they are. All right, so that is what filter does. Okay, filters, they have added filters to the information. We can actually see what we have. Now let's start cleaning up the data. Alright, we'll start with the first column, order ID. Let's check if we have any inconsistency. So you drag this, so it looks consistent. All the information on the order ID column are consistent. So what we need to do is to rename this. Now this order ID is in lowercase. I want it to be in a proper case, letter case. That is the first letter of each word begins with a capital letter. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to add capital O and capital I. Enter. Yes, so it looks more organized. So this is order ID. So this is already clean. Now let's check that of customer ID. Customer ID, check if it is consistent throughout. Right, so it's very consistent, so we don't need to work on this. So what we just need to is to make sure that these headers are in proper case. All right, so I'm going to change that C to cap lock, cap C, I, enter. All right, so these two columns are already clean. Now let's check through our customer name. Let's see. All right, you see this is properly arranged. It's arranged properly. This is in lowercase. All right, lowercase cap letters. All right, it shows that this information, this customer name column is inconsistent. Right, we're having cap letters, capital letters, small letters, and we are having spaces. All right, so it is not properly organized. So we need to change it to one data format, either a proper case. So the best way to clean your customer name is to make every first letter of their names to be of capital letter. So you come to customer H and press Ctrl+Shift+ to create a new column. Ctrl+Shift and plus, you create a new column. You can name this customer name. Start with capital letter, customer, you add underscore name. Alright, so I've renamed that. So how do we change this to a proper text format? We use a function, a text function known as proper. Known as what? Proper, to change everything to its proper text format. Okay, so we type equal to proper. This is the function we need. Then which text do you want to change? You press the first in text name, you close your bracket, press enter. So it actually changes that. So drag and drop that. All right, you see that the information we have here are now organized, they are consistent, unlike the first customer name column. It was inconsistent. We can actually use this to run analysis. So since we are actually referencing the first customer name column, I'm going to copy this and paste as value. So Ctrl C, come over to the home menu tab, click on that where you have paste, look for paste values, paste as values, where we have 1 2 3, click on that. It changes that to values. That means if we actually deleting this, it does not make changes or errors to the new column. All right, this way 3 columns are clean. Let's check our data. You see everything is organized, properly arranged, looks like proper text type. All right, so now let's move to the fourth column, customer age. That is the ages of customer. You can see we are having -3. It is impossible for a customer to be -3 years. Okay, so that is an error already. So let's use a filter to go through. We have a customer that is 0 years, which is inaccurate. Let's drag this down. We have a customer that is 150, which is impossible. No customer can be 150 years and 999. So we are going to clean this up. Okay, we are going to change that. We are going to change this information to null. Can change this to null, because no customer can have that age. Null and null. So how do we do that? So come over to the first information after the header, press Ctrl Shift with a drop down. When you do that, you press Ctrl H to replace, find and replace. Okay, Ctrl H. We want to find and replace some of this information that we have here. Remember, the age has to be numerical. So what are we looking for? I'm looking for -3. I want to change that. I want to change -3 to null, as the information is null. Right, make sure your option is checked. That is match entire cells content is checked. All right, make sure it's checked. Then press replace. So it actually changes. You see, all done. We made 6 replacements. That means 6 data sets here we -3. So we have changed that. What we need to change next is 999. We're going to change 999 to null as well. So just replace all 3 informations here or data sets of the customers we invited 999. And we need to also change, I think we have 02. But let's go back to our filter. Let's drag this up. We're going to see the information that we need. We need to change 0 as well. Let's change 0 as well. So find what 0 and change it to null. We have done that. Okay, let's check our filter. So we have cleaned that. Let's drag that down. Right, we are going to change 150 to null. 150 to null. So replace that. So we have actually cleaned that column. We have replaced that. Okay. So alright, so our data set is clean. What we need to do is to make sure this header column is properly in text, in its proper text format. Alright, so we have changed that to customer age. So we have a clean data. So our first 4 columns are clean. We now have the proper age, 18 years. You can have a customer who is 18 years, that is an adult, a young adult, and the highest age group, the highest age of the customer is 75 years. You can have the customer who is 75 years old. So all other information are being changed to null. Okay, that means we don't have the proper age of those customers. Okay, but sometimes you can leave it blank, but I don't like leaving information blank. So let's go back to email. All right, though we don't actually need email to running analysis, but since we are considering data cleaning, we're going to clean this. First of all, let's check the informations we have. The email looks organized, right? It looks organized. So we have blanks. Some space in the column, in the row, empty rows. I think we have invalid. Let's go down. We have invalid email, so we're going to change this to null. That means there might be some customer that did not provide their email information, and also some customer skip their email or did not provide their email information. All right, so what we are going to do is to press Ctrl H to find and replace. So I want to replace invalid email, so it's in cap letter. So I'll make sure I use the appropriate text type or text format. Email. I want to change it to null, so it has been changed. All right, and also we have blank space. Okay, let me find all the blank spaces that we have. This as blank. Let's check all. Here I can see blank space. Alright, so we have blank space, so that means this is not actually. Now why we have that, this highlighted column is not actually highlighting all the column rows because of this space. So that means that there should be an information here, all right, on this blank space that can actually highlight the column at once. So that means we only clean it for some of the data sets. So for us to deal with this column, we are going to change this blank row to null. Alright, so that we can actually highlight everything and delete, not actually delete, we can actually highlight the whole column and change some of these invalid emails that are below to null. How do we deal with that? So let me show you how to deal with that. So what you are going to do, you are going to press Ctrl G, go over to spatial. You have blanks, click on blanks and press OK. So it's going to highlight all blanks. So we are going to do what? Come over to your formula bar and type null, NULL. So to activate that into all these blank spaces, you press Ctrl Enter. So it actually fills all blank data sets in this column, in all columns as null. So dealing with that, each of these columns will not have blanks again. So let's go back over to our email and check if we are going to get blank. There's no blank. The blank has been dealt with. Right, so let's deal with the invalid email. Need to still change that invalid, because now let's bring this down. Okay, sorry, you need to remove this. Remember our data set was 541, so the other information that we removed are also part of this table, so we don't want it. So you right click, contents. Here we have actually closed that. And also we have let's go because you're right. We have no, we don't actually have information here, so just delete. Right, yeah. So we have done that. Let's go back to the email. So you write, you press Ctrl H to find and replace. If you want to replace invalid, underscore email. So you may want to find and replace it as null. Okay, make sure your okay. Once you find and replace it as null, so replace all the invalid email has been replaced as null. So this as null. So we change this to the first letter to cap letter as email. Press enter. So that is clean. Let's go over to product name. Product name contain inconsistencies, blank space, different data type. You see that it is not organized, not properly organized. So you are going to make sure it is in the proper format. Like we have a small letter I. We want each of the first cap letter, the first letter of this product should be in cap letter. How do we do that? So we are going to create a new column beside product name. Go back to G column and press Ctrl Shift plus. By actually creating a new column, you can rename this product name. Product underscore name. Right? So we say equal to proper. Activate proper, and the text we want to change to the proper text is this. Press enter and drag and drop for all other text formats. Alright, so that is done. Now let's try deleting this. Let's try deleting the first product name column. You see that the new product name column is showing that our reference column has been deleted. So let me undo that. So for us to make sure that it doesn't change the product name column to reference, all right, a reference error, you need to highlight all the over. Let's see highlighting all the blank space. Information here. Let's just delete that. Okay. You see highlighting all the blank space. Let's check that first. The blank space should be obvious out. Okay, so let's highlight that all the information. Alright. So copy this and go to paste as values. Paste as values. So this is done. Now let's delete this out. Alright, so we have our information here. So I want to remove this quote where we have multiple quotes in the quotes. We don't want that right in this column. So I need to remove this. How do you do that? You highlight your cell, come over to the Ctrl H to find and replace. I want to place mark team with a quote symbol with mark scene only. Let's check that. Replace. So actually replace that. Alright. So we are done cleaning this product name column. So it looks organized. It looks organized now. Let's go to category. The category column, let's check the information we have there. So it contains capital letters, small letters, proper letters, and inconsistency. Sports, we're having sports with Z, which is inaccurate. Clothing, we're having clothing without H. So we need to change that to the proper is cancel that, the proper format. Right, so I'll write all the information, find and replace control H. I want to change this electronics here. It's calculator. So electronics to the proper text format. Alright, let me show you what to do first. Instead of us doing that, you can actually create a new column for category. See? We are going to change everything to proper. Guys, this will make it easy for us. Proper. This is what we need. Proper text. So everything can be aligned. So that can be up. Right, so it is in proper text format. So you can see and paste as value so that we can delete the first one. Let's delete this. Now we can actually change the data type. You see everything is consistent, but some of the spellings are incorrect. So now we can actually change the spellings now to make it easy for us to navigate through the data columns and row. Alright, so Control H, find and replace. I'll change this clothing. The spelling of that clothing is without H, so I'm going to dash H to replace it. So this is the actual spelling we have. CHLOTHING. I will replace that. As we replace that, and what are we to replace? It's good for this. Okay, I'll convert home and garden to this format. I love this format with ampersand. I'll change this. So I'll type the way it is. Home and garden. So ampersand garden. I'll replace that. Right, so I'll change this spot with Z at last, with Z to S as Z to the proper spelling. Spot. So I've changed that. What again I need to change? So let's go. I will change this information, home and garden. They are joined together, so they should be space. So I need to input it the way it is, the home and the sign without space. Garden. I want to change that to home and the sign. Sorry. Garden. So it changes that automatically. I think we are done. Let's go to our filter and see what is left. Alright, beauty is proper, good electronics. So all our categories in format. Right, that is clean. Right, that is clean. Let's go over to quantity. Let's check what we have under quantity. We have negative values, which is incorrect. You cannot have a quantity that is negative. Quantity should be numeric and also countable. Alright, so we're going to change this 9,999 to 9 because our quantity, highest quantity is 11. So I think this was supposed to be 9 or 0, either 9 or 0. So it can be an error, but I'll change it to 9. Okay, and this minus 5 to a positive 5, negative 1 to 1. Then I'll consider this 0 as no, there was no sales. Okay, no product was bought. So there can be a circumstance that a customer ordered for a product, but at the end of the day, it doesn't buy. So that is like 0 quantity. So you need to change minus 5 to 5, minus 1 to 1. Then 999 to just 9. So how do we do that? I like that. So what we are going to do is press Ctrl H to find and replace. So what are we replacing? We are replacing 999 to just 9. I think that's just 9. We should replace that. So we have made 8 replacements. And to also replace, I think, minus 5. That minus 5 gives you just 5. Okay, we have done that. I think we made minus 1. Yeah, minus 1. Let's change minus 1. It might be just an error from the typist or the data entry agent or the set tree from the data collection. So that might be an error. So we have correct that. So 0 quantity means that no product was bought. Alright, so we have actually cleaned that. So what we are going to do, we are going to rename this. Not actually rename, change this letter to tab letter. Enter. So our quantity is clean. Then the unit price. The unit price contains inconsistency. Let's check, let's navigate through what we have. Alright, we have in GM, which is inaccurate for unit price. Unit price should contain values with a unique currency format, not this. This is an error. This A with a pound symbol. So these are errors we have. So we need to change that to just values first. We need to change everything to values. So let's find and replace if it is possible. Ctrl H. I want to find and replace in capital MGM. Let's see if that will work. To blank. We want to replace it with blank, with nothing. It says we couldn't find anything to replace. Alright, so most times Excel can't find most of these symbols. Alright, because I think it doesn't recognize it as text. So what we are going to do, we are going to use the formula to eject that out of them. Or let me show you the easiest way to do that. Instead of using formula, we can use what we call field, zip field. Let's use this. Sorry. Right, I want to use Ctrl E to extract this information. Alright. Ctrl E. A particular name we call it flash fill. Yes, flash fill. I want to use flash fill to extract the values. So what I do is that I'm going to make Excel recognize what I want to extract. So I can use 1339.54. I've actually highlighted that I want to extract values. So I'll also input for the next value 0.84. I want to use flash fill to extract that instead of using formula to stress myself. Alright, under ng now I highlight what I want. 4866.0. I also do 30 so that Excel can know that I just need the values, not the symbols attached to some of these values. 0. Right, let's go to the one with a with pound. Yeah. So just 39 with, right. I'll do this 6 at least twice. 8 5 to at least two category of this. So instead of me to be doing this, I will now press Ctrl E. So it actually extract that without, you see, it actually extracts all the values, leaving the symbols we have here. So let's grab this down. Right, see that data is already clean. Alright, there's no ngn attached to the values and the pound and a sign attached to it. So I'll rename this unit price. Unit price. Now let's try deleting this and see what happens. Alright, we have deleted that. So we now have our unit price. Alright, and we are going to change this to the currency format. Unit price has to do with money. So where we have our own menu tab, where we have numbers, click the dollar sign. So it actually changed that. So we are going to reduce this, decrease the decimal. We don't need decimals, okay? So you press this, it will round it up to just the value, right? So this is our unit price. So it's clean. It's actually clean. So we have $7, and there is a unit price is $667, which is actually high, and our minimum value is $7. Is a big range, right? But actually it's clean. Now let's go back to shipping weight. Let's navigate through what we have there. Right, we have LBS, which is improper. So let's see if we can remove that using our find and replace the page. Instead LBS, you see EL. You want to change it to let's see that doesn't. So let's use the same approach, flash fill. We are going to use flash fill to reject that out without using formula. Alright, so I'm going to make so know what I want to extract. 19.89. Enter, at least do it twice. Okay, 13.47. Enter. Let's go to the one with LBS at 80. On is so to extract only the value, leaving the other L later. 24. Right, let's go over to this and press Ctrl E. So it actually extract that. So it's easy. Let's change it to shipping. Let's type the shipping /_ weight, right there, _kg in kilogram. Okay, so the weight is in kilogram, and the weight of the product, right, straight to the customer. All right, it looks clean, but it's not consistent. We have some of the value are having 2 decimal place, some 1. So let's bring this down. Convert it, go back to this proper decimal. Yeah, it looks normal. No? All values are consistent. So 2 decimal place. You can also reduce it to 1. decimal place. Let's reduce it to 1. There's a shipping weight. Okay, so that is clean. Now order dates, the day when the customer ordered for the product. Alright, you see some inconsistency. You are seeing space before the date, you are seeing date with space. These are inconsistency we have under this data type, under the date column. So we want to change this to a date format. Now a date, now how does Excel recognize dates? Doesn't now most of these dates, now this is how Excel recognize dates, like the one we have 9/25/2022, 9/12. So the 9 represents the month, the middle value represents the day and the year. Now we are not supposed to have a text month like 14th June 23. So these are inconsistency. So we are going to change it to a proper date format. All right. So you highlight that, go to data, text to column, under data to text to column, click on that, delimited. So you want to, by default, delimited are like what is actually separating them. Is it space, slash, or any other symbol? So just click next. All right, so we want to keep it. This is a date format, so we don't need to highlight any of this. Just next. Then go back to date. From general, change it to date. Then click on day, month, year. Then and press finish. By default, Excel will change most of this data to months. We are going to have months, then the day. Now most of these data are having some of these months are in text format. So how do we change this? So there's a way you can do this. Press Ctrl 1. Okay, to go back to this category where we have all the category and customize it. So I want to customize this, so I'll go back to date. All right, so what date format do I need? I need this format. All right, I need this format. I want my dates to carry day, then the month, the year. So I'll click OK. So it does that for me. So it's consistent. Now you see 2024, 2023, 2022. So we have 3 years. This is a data that covers 3 years. Order date. Okay, so it's clean now. So my order date is clean. So I'll rename this. So cap. Press enter. So that does that for me. Alright, it's properly clean. Alright, now let's go to shipping date. The same approach, contains inconsistency, null, and the rest. So what we are going to do is that highlight this, go back to text to column under your data menu tab. Click on that. The same approach. Yes. Go back to date, change it to, this is month, day, year. This is how Excel recognize it, but you are going to change it to day, month, year. Even though you are changing it to day, month, year, still Excel will still change it to the month, day, year. Right, but do that way. So it has changed some of this information we have here to the month, the day, the year. Some are carrying text. So press Ctrl 1, go back to date. This is the format that I need. All right, click enter. So it has changed it to what? The day, the month, and the year. All right, so it's clean. So this data set contain 3 years, 2024, 2023, 2022, and all. Okay, remember some of the dates will not fill maybe when they collected this information, the shipping date. All right, so we'll change this. Instead of having ship date, we need to change it to shipping date, when the date which the goods was sent, all right, to the customer or was delivered. Okay, so the day the product was delivered to the customer. Alright, now let's go back to payment method. So let's navigate. Our payment method looks improper. We need to make it looks proper. What is COD? This COD means cash on delivery. So it was used, it was abbreviated as COD, Ready Cash Money Later. So we need to make this a proper text. So let's create a new column beside the payment method. So you can rename this payment underscore method. So you want this proper function too. For this test, close bracket, press enter, then you drag and drop all the rows. So it actually changes to a proper text format. Control C and paste as well. Remember, whenever you are referencing yourself, you need to copy and paste it as well. You can actually delete this now. This is in proper text format. So let's check what we need to change. So we need to change this COD to what? Cash on delivery. All others are in proper text format. Alright, so it makes it easy. Control H. We need to change COD, COD to cash on delivery. Cash delivery. Delivery cash. Yes, okay. Well, we have changed that. That means those people that paid cash when the product was delivered to them. Right? So this is the payment. So we have bank transfer, cash on delivery, credit card, debit card, PayPal. Alright, so this is actually clean. Now let's go back to our region. Our region contains a lot of inconsistency. First of all, let's change this to a proper text format. So let's create a new column. But let's rename this. Sorry, you can see this is where we are supposed to create. Alright, so let's rename this to region. Calculator, then go to proper press enter. So change that to proper text format. So we're having one consistent data type. Alright, so let's copy and paste as values, and let's delete this data. Alright, so it looks clean, but we have some inconsistency. I said America, no, there's empty or blank space and no. You don't have information about where the region is, the customer region, where they bought the product. North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, and Asia Pacific is replicating. Okay, so we need to change this from this to what we have here without the hyphen. And APAC is, I think it actually represent Asia Pacific. That is A for Asia, then PAC is representing Pacific. So we need to change that to this. Alright, so what should we do? Come over to Europe, press Ctrl Shift down drop, Ctrl H. So you want to change APAC. Let's see. APAC to Asia Pacific. Let's change that so it has been replaced. And also let's change Asia Pacific to just Asia Pacific. So that is has replaced what you want. Inconsistency. Let's go and check our data. So it looks clean. So we have the following region in Africa, Asia Pacific, Europe, North America, North, the region that we not in field. okay, by the customer or we not identified. So this affects all this not affects the quality of the data. So we cannot actually enable us to actually segment or get an estimate of where these most of these customers that are not where they are buying from. Okay, so it's actually affecting the analysis and the insights. So it affects this one of the problem we face. Right, so this is clean. Let's go over to other status. Other status. Since you have cancel completed pending, these are not in proper text format, so we need to change this to capital letter and all this. So we are going to use proper functions to that. This is what we have to do. Continue. There underscore so equal to proper. Okay. See, copy and paste as value because we are making reference to the face column. So delete that. So I think we are done. So cancel completed pending refunded sheet. Right, these are the various other status. Some of the other have been completed, some refunded. So you don't know why they're actually refunded. They pay. Some have been shipped but not completed. That have been shipped but not delivered to the customer. The one that is completed is that has been shipped and it has been delivered. You have the one that is pending, means they have not actually processed it. Right now, let's go to customer rating. How well are customer rating the business? Right, so cost rating should be within 1 to 5 range. So this 99 I'll change it to null. This 6 I'll change it to 5 because I think it was a typo error. Instead of imputing 5, the data entry officer or the analyst or anybody that filled that data set actually use 6. So we are going to change this 0 to null and -1 to null, or we can you change this -1 no -1 to 1. This 0 rating should be between the range of 1 to 5. So I will change this to null. Alright, so let's do that. Right. Which going to replace 6 as 5. I've done 5 replacements. So want to change the thing we have 99 as 0. No, rather. No. So to change minus, we have negative value. -1 to 1. It's just go to so 2 of these information that we get as -1. Let's check. I'll change 0 to null. 1 predicting that it's between 1. So let's change 0 to null. If you don't have the right predicting for that custom, our range now is 1 to 5. Alright, so it's clean. So we have customer. Save that. We have the discount PCT. PCT actually represents percent, so let me just rename this. Capital D. I'll change this to percentage. So, what I'm going to do, let's navigate what we have. We have some inconsistency. The data are not consistent. We are not having the same decimal place. So drag and drop. Sorry, highlight the cell and go back to number where we have two decimal. Highlight that so that it changes it to decimal place. So it's consistent. Then I'll change it to percentage. Alright, so we have that in percentages. So that display the discount percent. Alright, so we have notes as part of the information needed for the analysis, but for this analysis we don't need notes communicated with this. Alright, so the last part we're going to clean is return flag. So return flag actually shows the numbers of return and not return. So it should be numeric. It should be kind of binary, where one represents that the goods will return and 0 represents not return. So these are full of inconsistency. So what is it? I'll just find and replace them. Control H. So first of all, start with yes. This YES. That means it was returned. That is 1. So replace that. Capital Y should be converted to 1. And once it binary so that we can actually count the total or sum the numbers of products that we return. So I have true. True is also yes. So we are going to change that to 1. Alright, so we have no in 2. I'll change that to 0. We have in also 0 representing no. False. Choose false to 0. Scale this up. Press everything. Check what you have. Okay. See, it looks clean. Looks clean. I say we have 0, 1. 0 represents that the goods will not return, the products will not return. Okay, 1 shows that we return. We have anything or blank spaces which are null. We don't actually know if they will return or not. Right, so our data is actually clean. So let's go back. All the so this is a clean data. This is a clean data. So what you need to do once your data is clean, you change it to table. So I like everything and press Ctrl T. Okay, yes. Now select my headers. Press Ctrl. So now it shows that our data is clean. So this is how a clean data should look like. It should be in a table format. Alright, so we have the other heading, customer ID, very clean, customer name consistent, customer age clean, email very clean, custom product name, category, quantity, unit price in its currency format, the shipping weight in 1 decimal place, the date accurate, shipping date, unit method properly arranged, customer rating, right, between 1 to 5. Okay, discount percentage is in proper format, and also return flag 1 and 0. 1 represents the goods will return, the product will return. So let's compare this clean data and what you have here. You see the big difference. So imagine if you actually use this to run the analysis, see that you won't actually get the right information or the right insight from your data, and your recommendation will be misleading. It will be very misleading to the business. So let's check our clean data. Alright, so this is how to carry out data cleaning as a data analyst. Data is clean, but you can also do some transformation. You can also carry out some transformation. Okay, like now, for instance, let me just do, now we have order date and the shipping date. Now we want to know how long did it take that product to be shipped to the customer or to be delivered to the customer. We have the date which the customer ordered that particular product, which is 14 June, and the day it was shipped was 20th. Okay, that means it stayed for 6 days. They spent 6 days before that product was shipped to their customer. So you want to know delay days. So remember this information, this data set we have did not have such information, the delay days, the days that it takes for that good to be delivered to. So we need that information, it's very important. So you can, this is where transformation comes. There are certain things that you need to transform from your data set. So create a column. So I'll name this delay or shipping delay date, or let me just use delayed day, rather delayed days, not just the delayed days. How many times, how long was the delivery delayed? How many days did it take that product or that goods to be delivered to the customer? So how do we calculate this? It's very easy. It's just a subtraction aspect. All right, so we need to use the shipping date and subtract from the order date. You understand? That is equal to L2. Let's just use L2 minus A, press enter. Right, actually calculate that. All right, so you can see it's still returning date. Since this was date, we are dealing with date, we're still returning date, and we are having some errors. Okay, we want to change it to date, so we are going to highlight the whole cell, go back to your own tab, change this date to general. So it has been changed to general. You see that now changed to the number of days. So it's the delivery for the first customers, they spent 6 days before the goods was delivered. They spent 4 days. They spent minus 227 days, which is wrong. So let's confirm this data set. So the goods was ordered 25th September 2022 and was delivered 10 February 2022, which is wrong. So I think the customer made a mistake, which this is supposed to be the shipping date. That is February, and it was now delivered. So this is an error from the customer while filling the form. All right, and we are having errors because of this null or blank spaces. We have this null. So all null shipping dates are having inconsistencies, having this error of value. So there's no value here. So how can we eliminate this? We're going to use a function known as if error. So we are going to add if error occur. Alright, we should have this. If error, let's see this. If error should occur, this is the value we want. If error occur, comma, we should have empty or blank. Let's leave it empty. That's your quotation. we should have a blank space press enter. So we have actually eliminated that. That means that if error should occur, it should be blank, just blank space. Alright. So let's change these values, this negative sign. How do we do that? Can we actually remove that? Let's copy and paste these values. Paste as values. So we have paste as values. So let's also use Ctrl H to see if we can change that. Remove negative value. Let's see it to change. Doesn't change. So what we are going to use flash fill. So we're going to tell Excel what we want. Here should be 6. Wherever we have negative should be 7. Wherever there's negative should be just 8. Others, so it should be 4. So so flash fill actually converts all the negative to positive. Alright, this is, so I'll copy this here, and that I'll delete this. Alright, so it is now positive. Other day delete this, right? So you have the delete day 6, 4 days, 227 days. So we actually know how long it takes the product to be delivered to the customer. So we have actually transformed that, bringing information that we need for this analysis. Okay. So that is how to carry out transformation. You can also transform this data set. Alright, this customer rating. You want to know what this 4 means, what 1 rating means, 3 rating, and 5 rating. Alright, so we have 5 rating. It should be excellent, very good, good, and poor. Alright, so let's actually do that. We want to know what it actually means. The category, rating category, will name the header rating category. Alright, we want to know what the actual rating means. Alright, so I'm going to write a formula now. So equal to, if, you're going to use ifs. I'll use ifs. If this value, okay, just take if Q2 is equal to 1. Alright, let's have, if it is equal to 1, then that is a poor rating. This is that is poor. For this, a poor rating. Okay, if Q2 as well is equal to 2, comma, we should be fair rating. Rating is fair. Okay, that is poor, fair. If Q2 is equal to 3, we should be poor and good. This is good, not poor, good. And Q2 as well is equal to 4. The result should be very good, as the rating is very good, rating. Equals a, and if Q2 is equal to 5, it should be, rating should be an excellent rating. Will be excellent. and close the bracket. But, yeah. Alright, so we have that 4 now. The 4 actually represents a very good rating by the customer. 1 represents, although we are having errors. So let's use if error. Can we actually use if error? Error. So if error occur, we can actually have this is how it goes. See how well that is. Okay, yeah. So we are using error to remove that. So if error occurs, we are trying to remove the error we are having because of this null data values we are having. It's not empty. So the null value, there is no rating for it. So that was the so we use if error occurs. Okay, we should actually have empty. That is why I use if error. Close opening bracket. We have a comma, then space. So now we have to actually see the rating. We have blank space. Now this is now living. So we have excellent, very good, poor. You can see what 3 means. It's good. 5 excellent, rating 1 poor, good. Okay, so you still go through this. You see that it has been transformed. So this is what we call data transformation. Actually transform that. So it's what you can do with your data set. And the next one, the last one we can also apply data transformation is ages. We can change this age in this customer age to a category, a kind of a age range where we can have 18 to 25, understand, 26 to 35, or we can actually have 18 to 24, 25 to 29, and so on. All right, let's do that for this. Alright, so our data is set. Let's create a new column and call this age category or customer age category, anyhow. Category. This is customer. Customer. That's called age category. Once you view the customer age category where they fall. Right, first of all, I want to know my minimum age and my maximum age. My minimum age is 18, so that will be 18 to, let's say, 18 to 20. Nobody is that. Let's check. 18 to 29 and 30 to 49. Okay, let's use this 18 to 24, 25 to 34. So it's equal to if is if we use ifs. What is this if? If this is just like that. If D2, why this is why when we are clicking this is showing the last customer age is because we have converted this to a table. So instead of like just type if D2 is less than or equal to, let's say, 29, use 29, that is 18 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to, okay, we have 40, 75. Okay, let's just use this. If it is less than 24. Okay, which is less than. Then you should get 24 years, comma. Indeed, 2 as well. It's less than or equal to 20. It's less than or equal to 24. You are equal to 24. Should get is less than 24, comma. We should get 25. You get 25 to 34. Is that, comma. If D2 as well is less than or equal to 4, comma, we should get 85 to 44. All right. Let's see that. In 25. Let's change this to the number 5. This should be 18 to 23. 85. 85. Let's change it. 18. Let's change the maximum value. Each value is 25. 18 to 25. 6. It is 26. 86. 86. Alright, so we are if D2 as well is less than or equal to 55, we should get 46 or 55. If D2 is less than or equal to 65, we should actually get 36 to 65. Actually D2 is less than equal to 75, we should get 66 to 75. And it goes back again. Let's see that. Okay, so it actually does that. So let's remove this error since you have no customer age. So we will use if error occur, comma, at the end you should have space. So we actually know the category now, the customer age category. So the customer that is 60 years is within the age of 56 to 65. So these are all the category: 18 to 25, 26 to 25, 26 to 45, and so on to 66 to 75. So it contains a list of all customer ages. So what we have is a clean data set. Okay, this is, we compare this, if you compare this with this, the raw data set and the clean data set, you see that our data set is well clean and well transformed. All right, you now save it. All right, thank you for your time and also paying attention to this class. So we have assignments for you and it will be dropped in the group. So you make sure you carry out your data cleaning and also transform your data sets if possible, and see you in the next class. Thank you.